Good evening and welcome to all my prince and princess. Today we are going to start with a new poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. And you all know that you have to subscribe the channel and click the like button and the bell icon so that you can get the latest updates. Because now after this I am going to start with grammar and we are going to learn paragraph writing. So next topic will be paragraph writing. But before we start, we are going to start with a quotation that is, all your dreams can come true if we have courage to pursue them. So all our freedom lies in our hands. So now we are going to start with a very beautiful poem, A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. Leslie Norris, he was a very famous Welsh poet. Wales is a country near England, and the people of Wales, they are called Welsh. So this Leslie Norris was a very famous poet of his time, and this poem also revolves around the theme freedom. The last lesson which we have read, Nelson Mandela, it was also all about freedom. So let's start with the poem right away now. A Tiger in the Zoo. This poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. Habitat means surrounding. So a tiger in its natural surroundings. So this poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. As we will read the stanzas of the poem, we'll find that one stanza is describing a cage, a tiger in the cage, and the second is describing a tiger in the wild. Then again like this it will go on. Read the poem silently once and say which stanzas speak about the tiger in the zoo and which one speak about the tiger in the jungle. So when you will read the poem, you will find out. So you can read it on your own once and then you can find out. Now, but we will not waste our time and we'll start away with the poem. So tiger in the zoo. You know what is a zoo? All of you must have been to a zoo. Zoo is a place where animals are locked up in the prison. People go and enjoy seeing them. So that is a zoo. So he stalks in his vivid stripes. He means the tiger. He means the tiger. He stalks. Stalk means to walk in stately manner. To walk in stately manner. To walk in stately manner. यानी कि बहुत ही गर्व के साथ, बहुत ही घमंड के संग वो अपने चल रहा है, घूम रहा है. In his vivid stripe. Vivid means clear. Vivid means clear. Okay. And stripes. What's the meaning of stripe? Long lines on his body. Long lines on his body. Long lines on his body. So you can see. So now the few stripes, the few steps of his cage. So where he's walking? You know, a cage, a prison, एक कैद खाना, वो कितना बड़ा होता है जू में. You must have seen. So you can walk only few steps, like you can go 5-6 steps, then the cage will come to an end, then you have to come back. So that is the only distance which he is walking inside the cage. On pads of velvet white. Pads. What do you mean by pads? Pads means the cushion. Pad means the cushion. उसके गद्देदार पैर. Cushion. Okay. So pads of velvet quiet. Velvet is a type of silk cloth. Velvet is a silk cloth. So you can just see quiet. Quiet here means quiet. He cannot run in the cage. He can only walk. So he is walking on a slow pace from here to there. In the cage he is walking from here to there. In his quiet rage. Quiet rage. Quiet means quietly. Here quiet means shanti se. Rage means anger. Rage means anger. Okay. So in his quiet rage, he is moving from here to there. So you can imagine that this is a cage and the tiger is moving from here, then he is coming back here. So this is the cage in which he is moving. Clear? Now we will see the figures of speech. Very important. This poem has lots of figures of speech. Figures of speech. You know, first figure of speech is the first starting of the poem. He. He has been personified. So personification. Which figure of speech has been used? Personification. Personification माने क्या होता है? मानवीकरण. यहाँ पे टाइगर को एक इंसान की तरह दिखाया गया है. टाइगर हैज बीन शोन एज अ पर्सन, ही. सो दिस इज द पर्सोनिफिकेशन. ओके, देन इन हिज विविड स्ट्राइप्स. नाउ यू कैन इमेजिन an image in your mind that with vivid stripe, long stripes. So there is imagery. You will find lots of imagery in this poem. Okay, imagery means कल्पना, जहाँ आप कल्पना कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. Then the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet. Now on pause, on pads of velvet quiet. So here also you can see metaphor is there. Which figure of speech is there? Metaphor. Metaphor कैसे है? Pause. Pause माने उसके पंजे. ठीक है, ये अभी आगे की लाइन में आएगा. और the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet. So you see velvet. Velvet is the figure of speech metaphor. Quiet. In his quiet rage. Now one figure of speech which you have not heard, that is oxymoron. Oxymoron कौन सा है? Quiet rage. Oxymoron. What is oxymoron? It is when two different things come together. Quiet means शांत, and rage means anger. Means both things are together. Quiet rage. So he's quiet also and his angry mood also. So you see the two different things are coming together. So these are the main important. And the rhyme scheme. What is the rhyme scheme? You can yourself tell. A, then B. Then stripes is matching with, stripes is not matching. Cage and rage, they are matching. So A, B, C, B. So what is the figure of rhyming scheme? A, B, C, B. Clear? Is this clear? Okay. So we can see this. Three things we have noticed. A, B, C and B again. Clear? So once again I will just read out and you will try to understand. He walks in his stalks in his wild stripes, the few steps of his cage, on pads of velvet quiet, in his quiet rage. So he is silently walking in his cage in a very angry mood. And you see these words quiet, they are coming again. So this is why poet has used these words again, quiet. They show the intensity. They show the intensity of action. What do they show? The intensity of action. So there is a question which will be asked, that why poet has used the word quiet 2 times in the same stanza. So this is also a type of writing skill, and the poet wants to show the intensity of action. What the tiger, in which mood the tiger is there. So in this full stanza we have seen the tiger is inside the cage. Okay, so he is moving in the cage in a stately manner, and only he can walk few steps, and we silently, very in an angry mood, is silently moving from here to there. Okay, now next stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. So here you can see the tiger is in the wild. Now tiger is in the jungle. He should be lurking. What do you mean by lurking? Lurking means hiding. Okay. So he is hiding in shadow. Shadow. Why he is hiding in shadow? Because he wants that the other animals should not see him. That's why he is hiding in some shadow. Sliding through long grass. Sliding means gliding. He is moving slowly through long grass. So here also you can see the imagery. You can see the imagination. You can develop. The tiger is hiding in long grass, and slowly he is moving. Where? Near the water hole. Water hole means where the water is there. Where plump deer pass. Plump means healthy. Plump means healthy. Where healthy deer pass. Because healthy deer, they come to drink water, and he is hiding in the grass, and as soon as he will get a chance, he will jump and catch them and eat them. So this is the natural movement of a tiger in the jungle. So very beautiful imagination is there. Imagery, this full. Then you can find alliteration. Figure of speech, alliteration. Plump, pass, PP. Where the repetition of sound is there. Alliteration. Okay. So this is a figure of speech. Very important figure of speech, alliteration. So now rhyme scheme also you can see rhyme scheme A, B, C, B. Clear? Now we will go to next. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, barring his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. Now again you can see this scene is whole about the tiger in the jungle. He is open, he is free. He should be snarling. Snarling means growling with his growling. Snarling means growling. घुर्राना. With bare feet, bare teeth. उसके दांत एकदम दिख रहे हैं. Growl कर रहा है. ठीक है. And around the houses at the jungle's edge. Edge means boundary of the jungle. Boundary है ना. Edge. Okay. Barring his white fangs, his claws, and he's showing his white fangs. Fangs means teeth. Fang means teeth. Claws, पंजे. Terrorizing the village. Terrorizing means creating fear. Terrorizing means creating fear. And he is creating fear. He is creating fear, terrorizing the villagers. So now you can see that he is moving about near the houses at the jungle edge, and his teeth can be seen clearly as he is growling, his claws, and he is trying to make all the villagers afraid of him. So this is the tiger in the jungle. Here also you can see the imagination. Rhyming scheme is also same, A, B, C, B. And next we come to the next. But he is locked in a concrete cell. Again, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of the cage, ignoring visitors. So you can clearly make out that this is all about the tiger in the cage. But is always used when we change the idea. So again, he was in the above stanza, it was all description about tiger in the jungle. Now we have come again back to the tiger in the zoo, tiger in the cage. But he is locked in the concrete cell. Concrete means in the brick house made of brick and stone, cement, है ना. Brick, stone, cement से बने concrete cell में. Cell means the prison. Cell means the prison. He is in the prison now. Okay. Then his strength behind bars. Bars means the prison. लोहे के जो बड़े बड़े छड़ हैं उनके पीछे. All his power. Strength means power. All his power is behind the bars. Stalking the length of the cage. Again, he is stalking the length of the cage. He is following the length of the cage. Stalk means follow. He is following the length of the cage. From here to there, he is ignoring visitors. And he is ignoring. He is not paying attention. Ignore means not to pay attention. Not to pay attention. He is not paying attention to the visitors. The people, they come in the zoo to see the animals, but the animals are not interested in seeing the visitors. They are ignoring him. They are not looking at him. So you see, he is locked in concrete cell. His all strength is behind bars and stalking the length of his cage. He is ignoring the visitor. So you can see the tiger. Again, he has lost his freedom and he is behind bars. Now the last. He hears the last voice at night. The patrolling cars. Now when he is inside, this is also inside the cage only. He is inside the cage, and what he hears? The last voice at night. The patrolling cars. What do you mean by patrolling? Patrolling means the vigil. Vigilance. They come to check. They are guiding the full area. So they are the cars. They are making noise. He hears the voice of the cars. and stares with his brilliant eyes. And with the brilliant eyes means with his sad eyes. His eyes are sad. They are not brilliant, they are sad. With his brilliant eyes, he has no other work to do, so he's locked inside the cage and he is staring the stars. Brilliant stars here means twinkling stars. Brilliant star means twinkling stars. Okay, so he is staring at the stars. Now you see the word brilliant has been repeated here. Again the same thing, like quiet it was there. Here also the brilliant word has been repeated. Why? Because he wants to show the intensity. Again the poet wants to show the intensity of action and anger. Intensity of action and anger. ठीक है, that's why the poet has repeated the word brilliant. This is a figure of speech. Now one more thing I would like to tell you, that there are many figures of speech, because you see there is one figure of speech, enjambment. What is that? Enjambment. Okay, this is full one word, enjambment. What is enjambment? It is continued sentence without punctuation mark. It is a continued sentence. It is a long sentence without punctuation mark. यानी कि बिना punctuation mark के जो long sentence है, जैसे कि आप second stanza में देख सकते हैं, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plum deer pass. So you see this is a full big sentence without any full stop in between. So this is called enjambment. Clear? So this is the enjambment. Then there are a word like another figure of speech, onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia. What is this figure of speech? Note down the spelling, onomatopoeia. It is like we use the hissing of snake, the sounds. It is a word which tells about the sound. So in this poem, what is that sound? Snarling. What is that? Snarling. Okay, snarling. शेर का गर्जना, शेर का दहाड़ना, है ना. ही शुड बी स्नालिंग, वो स्नाल कर रहा है. सो दिस इज onomatopoeia. Okay, so we have seen here so many figures of speech are there. Two more I would like to tell you, that is repetition. Repetition we have learned just now, like quiet, है ना. Brilliant. Under which figure of speech they will come? Repetition. They will come under repetition. Okay. Imagery we have done, metaphor we have done, and there are two more figure of speech which you should know. Alliteration we have done. Now alliteration also repetition. Alliteration का मतलब क्या होता है? Alliteration का मतलब क्या है? Repetition of a word, of like PP. It was coming plump, pass, plump and pass, PP. So this is alliteration. Okay. When a consonant is repeated, it is called consonance. जब कोई कॉन्सोनेंट रिपीट होता है तो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? कॉन्सोनेंस. ओके. और जब कोई वॉवल रिपीट होता है तो उसको हम बोलते हैं एजोनेंस. उसको क्या बोलते हैं हम? एजोनेंस. क्लियर? तो कॉन्सोनेंट और एजोनेंस का हम डिफरेंस देखेंगे कि इसमें आप देखो फर्स्ट लाइन में इन हिज विविड स्ट्राइप्स. In his vivid stripes. I. So this is an example of assonance. Because vowel sound is repeated. Clear? And assonance, consonance ka example, his, stalk, stripes, S. Okay? Stalks, stripes, his, S. You see? So this is example of consonance. Because consonants are repeated, so consonants, when vowel is repeated, assonance. And when like in plum pass, PP was repeated, main first alphabets are repeated, then that is alliteration. So there are so many figures of speech. You please note down and make a column, write figures of speech used in the poem 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with examples. Because if you will, when you will explain the poem and you will write the question answers, if you give the these figures of speech, they add to your numbers. Okay. Now one or two most important thing I would like to tell you is that you should know the tiger in the cage and tiger in the wild. Okay, so when you go for it, you see here, in the cage, I have written in the cage, stalks, quiet rage, ignoring visitors, hears the sound of patrolling cars, stares at night. In the wild, lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, snarling around houses, baring his white fangs, terrorizing the village. So these are the question answers which are given behind. You will be needing these answers. In the cage, few steps you will yourself find out now because you have understood the poem. But still, for your benefit, I have just written them. So if you want, you can look them again and again when you see the videos. So with this, we come to an end with this poem. I hope you have understood this poem. If you like the poem, please press the like button because I come to know about it that the students have understood the poem. And then if your views are there, I understand that poem, the students are seeing the video and students will write down the question answers now. If you have any problem, you please ask me frankly, freely, be supportive and stay safe inside and wash your hands and obey your parents. Be good. With this, okay, have a nice day. Bye.